Good morning and welcome back to another Watchmen update. We got major conservative and libertarian media refusing to go to Canada anymore for fear of prosecution. We got Disney's Snow White, the movie that just came out, not doing well, and let's just say that's a major understatement. The ATF, the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which should be a convenience store, but is instead a federal agency, has gotten downsized. They're going to lose about 1,000 agents who are going to harass criminals instead of innocent civilians. We got the Rio Grande River low, very low. It's impacting farmers. We got a Lowe's worker insider for the Watchmen community giving us a heads up on how things are looking down there. And let's just say nobody's building or renovating anything, and it is showing. And the story of one Watchmen family that had to flee from their home this week. They were prepared. Would you be? Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share with the community, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. It can be a comment on this video or on any video on this channel that gets it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They are like-minded people who are interested in helping people secure their retirement accounts. If you have a retirement account, like an IRA, 401k, or a Canadian retirement account, and it's in stocks and bonds, you don't have too many choices, and you want to get into physical metals, Jonathan and his team can walk you through what that would look like. There'll be a link at the end of the video for you to find out more. All right, Disney's Snow White movie has been released. And it's an astonishing woke movie in an era of woke movies. It's not doing well. Nobody wants to watch it. In fact, it's the worst performing live-action Disney movie, well, ever, if you account for inflation. It's actually doing worse than Dumbo, which is pretty impressive. In fact, Dumbo was a much better movie by all accounts. Just imagine a giant pile of money on fire, and that's basically what Disney is doing. $300 million possibly that they're going to lose in this movie. If they had just taken $300 million and put it in a giant pile and set it on fire, they could have at least sold tickets to it, and that would have been a better business decision than what they have done. Unfortunately, they didn't choose to do that. They decided to have a woke $600 million bonfire, and I don't know who's buying tickets. Anyway, South Korea's Hyundai is announcing a $21 billion investment in the United States, including $5 billion to a steel plant in Louisiana, which is set to hire roughly 1,500 employees. And they're going to open up other production lines across the United States. Joe Rogan, the popular podcast fame, as well as UFC host, has rejected offers to host UFC 315 because it's in Canada. He said this, "I won't be there. I don't go to Canada anymore. I don't. I'd rather go to Russia." And if that doesn't say exactly what's going on with the Canadian government right now, I don't know what does. Other people have laughed at me for saying that I won't go to Canada because I've become more and more afraid of the Canadian government. And it's on the list of countries that I won't go to anymore because I don't want to end up in a little cell for some hate crime or social media crime. Yeah, they can go through this channel and find some kind of crime and pin it on me. If they want to, I won't give them that opportunity. They're going to have to extradite me from the United States, thank you very much, like a normal person. All right, Greenland's Prime Minister slams a visit, actually it was the Danish Prime Minister slammed the visit by U.S. officials, including Second Lady Usha Vance. Obviously, President Trump has made no bones about the fact that he wants Greenland to join the United States. Denmark really doesn't like this idea because Denmark has continued to hold on to Greenland like a little colony. Greenland is pretty unhappy with being part of Denmark, so they're kind of moving towards getting their own independence. President Trump in the United States is making a pitch to say, hey, you could go alone, or you could have some sort of varying degree of alliance with the United States, whether economic or whether you actually flat out become a territory of the United States, or even potentially a state. Well, that's all up for debate, and let's just say a lot of people are unhappy with that. ATF workforce facing major cuts as FBI Chief Kash Patel has announced plans to move 1,000 agents from the ATF, so they're going to stop shooting dogs and they're going to move over to the FBI. How about that? That sounds cool. The ATF basically sits around and just harasses stores that sell firearms and goes after people who have put weird things on the ends of their guns. Things that don't do anything. Probably more dangerous to the people themselves than to anyone downrange. But, you know, agencies have to justify their own existence, and the ATF has long worked hard at that, including banning simple safety items like silencers, which are a misnomer. I mean, anything that reduces the sound and can save people's hearing should be a safety item, but nope, it's banned. It's a felony. It's crazy stuff. Anyway, Iran has said it is now open to indirect negotiations with the United States over its nuclear program. That is a dramatic shift compared to where they were before, which was, we will not talk to anyone about that at all for any reason whatsoever. President Trump just said, oh yeah, well, let's just squeeze that oil a little bit and see what happens. And Iran is saying, yeah, we're going to talk now. Cool. Deborah says, I went to Wegmans yesterday and bought some grapes for my parrot. He would not eat them. I know, big story. It kind of puzzled me why. He will not eat anything old. I recently have bought other veggies for him and he won't touch them. The grapes I bought literally turned brown overnight. Now I see why he wouldn't touch them. This has been going on for months now. I also bought some fabric online because the online fabric store in town closed. It doesn't seem to matter if the stuff comes from California or New Jersey. Seems to take 3 weeks to get anything fabric-wise. I live in Syracuse, New York. I order stuff on Amazon. It says, order now and get it tomorrow. That has not yet happened. What is going on with the post office? Well, we've been hearing a lot about what's going on with the post office, haven't we? Keith says, I live in central New Mexico. The Rio Grande flows through my county, and I live about a quarter mile away from the river. The river is very low this time of year. In New Mexico, we are in a bad drought with little to no snowpack in the mountains. I went this past weekend to buy alfalfa for our horse. The farmer said he is worried. The Conservancy said that the state is projecting to be out of irrigation water by the end of June. So, friends, that's probably going to impact some crops out there, isn't it? And impact cattle herds in Texas. Blue Ridge Mountain Prepper says, I have two things that are a concerning barometer on the economy. I work for Lowe's in Rocky Mountain, Virginia. Over the last few weeks, I was shocked to get work since I'm a closer, and find out that the doors to the lumber department have been locked all day, with a sign that read, "Go to the front entrance." So that's the contractor entrance, right? They just had it closed. Everyone have to go in the main entrance. That is bad enough, but this next one is gravely concerning. Big Box Building Supply has what they call 100 days of hell in the spring. It's our busiest time of year. Normally during this time you can get plenty of overtime because the store is booming. The 100 days started last week and we got a call from corporate to start cutting the hours for workers. This is bad, Steve. I've been here for many years and I've never seen this. Very concerning. We can't even get to our 40 hours a week now. We've been hearing Lots of word out there on the street that that lumber is not selling and people aren't doing renovations. Construction is down dramatically. And we're hearing from the box stores now that very same thing. Lisa says, I sent a nice birthday card to my sister. It was a pop-up cake type, bulky but cute. I put $25 in the card. She never got it. I should have known better. Live and learn, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And here's a secret one for you guys. If you want to send a funny joke card to somebody, they have these cards where the card, you can open it up and it'll start playing music and everything like that. But it has this little tab on the back, and once you rip the tab off, the next time the card opens, it starts playing music and it doesn't stop. You close it again, it keeps playing. It keeps going, and it's super, super annoying. Usually pretty loud too. So what's the next thing that person's going to do? They're going to think about tearing the card. But of course, what they don't know is that the card is full of glitter. I'm going to find that and post that down in the pinned comment down below. If you want to get somebody a card like that, it is just awesome. It's just awesome. So once it starts playing music, it will keep playing until the battery dies or until the person physically destroys the card, at which point they will release glitter all over the place. It's awesome. Anyway, NT says, I'm in central Indiana. My nearby Aldi had eggs for $4.97 a dozen yesterday. Not too bad. I was in two Dollar Trees near me yesterday. They both said that prices on some items are going to increase on Monday. Soon it will be $1.50 to $2 and above store. I shopped very intentionally and bought more than I planned because of the upcoming price increases. I don't plan to be there again soon, except to look for one item that neither store had. This is from American Mom. So check and see if your Dollar Tree has gone up in price. If it hasn't, now's the time to grab a bunch of stuff. Right before it went from $1 to $1.25, I put in a whole bunch of orders and bought a bunch of cases of stuff. So let's just say I have cases of hand soap and cases of shampoo that I bought at $1, which at $1.50, man, best investment out there so far. That was only 7-8 months ago, 9 months ago, something like that. Anyway, American Mom says, Pasco, Florida. Went to my local Publix yesterday to find an employee because the frozen food meat area was missing so many items. The employee checked the tags to see if anything was left in the back. Publix has always had a large meatball area. Not now. They had the pretend meatballs, but not the beef meatballs. Also, non-breaded chicken wings or any chicken wings not available. Employees said that they are discontinuing many of the chicken wings and meatballs. I said the sports basketball time had just kicked off, the March Madness time, right? And that does not make sense from a marketing standpoint. Friends, are you paying attention yet? There are problems. Publix is big in Florida, and if they are going to have frozen meat issues like this, we should all take note. We've been seeing issues with Tyson and with the other meat packing plants and stuff like that. They've been shutting down plants all over the place. They've been telling us that they're just moving that work over to other plants, but that's not passing the sniff test. Carrie says, my husband went online to order chicks this spring. The chick breeders are not available until September to order chicks. They're backed all the way up to September. We put our order in. We try to add to our current flock every spring. Guess this year will be a fall order. Spent over $100 for 9 chicks for September. Friends, all those chicks are going somewhere. And so I've said this before, if you're willing to risk a little bit, to gamble a little bit and do a little bit of legwork, there's going to be a lot of people this summer that are going to be dumping pullets. People are going to get into chicks right now. They're going to get the hen houses. They're going to build everything. They're going to But then this summer when the egg prices come down, they're not going to want to be having chickens anymore. And these people are going to be unloading these chickens. And for you to be able to give them a good home, you'll be able to save a lot of money probably, and you'll also make sure that these chickens get a good home. Just think that one through. If you're willing to wait, you may be able to get a coop as well. If they buy a coop, it may be a good setup for you. Just think through that one. BZ says, I mailed a Christmas card to a friend in Canada the first week of December. They got it on Friday. 3.5 months to travel 2,300 miles. We are just thankful they received it. Yeah, these days. Lydia says, I live in Central Florida, and after I heard from your video yesterday about Dollar Tree going to $1.50, so I went to my closest Dollar Tree and asked the cashier about the prices going up, and she said it will be $1.75 there, not $1.50. I guess we will have to wait until they price it higher. Thank you for your wonderful information that helps keep all of us aware and prepared. Thank you all to the community, friends. Helgerson, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Noticed a change in Roma pizzas. You can now just see cardboard all the way around the pizza inside. Shrinkflation used to cover the whole cardboard. Lots of examples of that out there for sure. Mark says, Mason City, Iowa. Found some ground chuck 10-pound tubes for $3.99 a pound, not too bad, at a local Hy-Vee food store. We bought 2 tubes and then went home to divide it into 1-pound packages, vacuum packed it, which makes it last several times longer. Then they freeze dried the beef that was in the freezer to make room for that. Also, while I was there, we did notice the eggs were back in stock with at least some on hand. Price was $4.97 a dozen. So we're hearing a lot out there, right? I think $4.97 is like the max people are willing to pay before they start getting outraged. And I think stores have kind of found that price point. We freeze-dried almost 30 dozen last fall, knowing where price and availability was headed. People who watch and pay attention to what's going on this channel, you are way ahead of the curve and you were prepared. Check that out. Isn't that cool? You need to be proactive rather than reactive in today's world. And here's a warning from a family that you can be praying for as well. PDS, Western Virginia. Thankfully, we were prepared. We live next to the National Forest Wilderness area. Started seeing smoke and then ash and embers. Grabbed our to-go bags and our pack of important, not replaceable documents and found a motel for Saturday night. Extended it to Monday night stay. As of Sunday noon, fire crews were still working feverishly to keep the fire away from our house and surrounding neighborhood. Thank God for being ready for emergencies, man-made and natural disasters such as fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, and drought. Still don't know if our house will be safe, but we are. And that's what it really comes down to. I recommend, once again, not only having a go bag or a bug out bag, but I'm more of a fan of, if you're going to be leaving by vehicle, having tubs. Having multiple tubs for different conditions. Having a winter tub that has the stuff that you might need if you need to bug out when it's cold. Have a summer tub for when you're bugging out and it's the summertime, right? And then have other things where, like, you might need to do more camping kind of stuff, like water filtration, a lot of that kind of stuff that you may not need. Or also even like a tub of food, canned food that would be ready to go. And so you can kind of scale what kind of a bug out situation you need to have. And you just have the tubs there ready to go. You can just grab the whole tub, you can throw it in the vehicle, or you can grab some things out of the tubs and throw them in the vehicle, right? It's also good to have some backpacks with basic supplies for your bug out bags, but having some tubs that have like supplemental stuff that you can throw in the vehicle very quickly, I think is very realistic for a lot of people these days. All right, let me know what you guys think about that too down in the comments down below. Thanks so much for contributing and being part of the Watchmen community. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. Just tap it, fill out your information, and they'll get in contact with you, and they can send you information, PDFs. They have some ebooks and stuff like that to help get you educated or answer your questions. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right over here. And make sure you are checking out the Poplar Bible Studies. We have our study in Nehemiah that is happening. The second video is up this morning, so go ahead over there and join with us over there if you'd like to. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.